Church speed on it.
The dumbest car myths. From not reversing on a cold engine to not switching fuel brands, we somehow heard it all. The magic hypermiling carburetor. Everyone has probably heard some variation of the unknown scientist who in the mid-20th century invented a magic carburetor which allowed vehicles to get 100+ miles per gallon, but was either silenced or murdered through some shadowy plot carried out by the big oil and automotive companies. +2 coupes have cheaper insurance. The +2 seats are to bring down insurance rates. Nonsense. Never sourced. Insurance companies are in the business of knowing exactly what does and does not make them money, and they've had bunches of data with which to do that for a very long time. The +2 seats are, so that you can tell your new spouse, "See honey, the 911 is really a family car." No seatbelt is safer. This is no longer as prevalent as it once was, but I used to hear people say they wouldn't wear their seatbelt because it could trap them in case of a crash and they'd be safer without it. Switching fuel makers does damage. I'm not sure how myth-worthy this is, but I always get gas as the same company. My dad told me that different companies had different fuel refining processes, and despite the octane, a car would respond differently. While I don't doubt that there may be some truth to that, I do not believe it's the case anymore. That said, I stick to a single brand as much as I can. Can't drive barefoot. It's illegal to drive barefoot. Heard that in the 80s and every now and then since. Knew a guy who got fired from his school bus gig for driving barefoot. He wore Birkenstocks year-round in West Virginia. The school board fired him and he took them to court. It was over pretty quick. He just took the money as he really didn't like driving.
What the fuck's that truck all about? You gotta have a small dick if you drive that truck. No offense to that guy. No offense to that guy, but you're...
Super duty, small appendage. Big truck equals small penis. Multitude of reasons here. You have to warm up your car before driving. Nope, not unless you have a really old car. This one is just stuck around. Yes, you should let it warm up before you drive it hard, so just get in and drive and that will warm it up, then you can send it. Right, keep the revs on the lower side to allow for everything to come up to temp. Perhaps don't beat on a cold engine would be a more useful example. Engine braking causes engine wear. Yeah, that came from a driver of 40 years accustomed to driving up and down mountain roads, where it's engine brake or else brake fade and certain death down 300 corners on dual carriageways. I had my doubts about the man who taught me false facts throughout my formative years, called me stupid and slow in public. Good riddance. A trade is a trade. Don't tell your salesperson you have a trade until you agree on numbers for the new car. I can tell you this is a myth. All it does is slow down the deal. Bottom line, your car is worth what it's worth. Reversing cold does damage. Someone told my wife when she was young that backing up your car right after you turn it on, like getting out of a parking space, damages the engine. She will go to almost any length to back into every parking space so she can start her drive going forward. Nothing I say can dissuade her from believing that car manufacturers can't account for this extremely common circumstance in driving. Manuals are safer. Anyone that drove a manual in a non-occasional way knows this is not true. I've owned manual vehicles from 1996 to 2021, then finally made the move to an automatic. There's absolutely nothing I can do with an automatic that I was not able to do with a manual. That includes fiddling with my phone, drinking a coffee, or even driving with a broken arm. No, I do not get bored more with the automatic than with a manual. When you drive a car with a manual every day, it's not long that you completely stop thinking about it. It becomes an automatism. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day.